Okay, sorry, I'm just being silly. As you know, that's my buddy Hudson. He's my little mascot. So, welcome to this edition of 4HO Trains with Mrs. Muffin. That would be me of Mr. Muffin's Trains, Atlanta, Indiana. That's where we're located, population 752. The incredible metropolis of Atlanta, Indiana. That's where you will find us at 4hotrains.com, bringing you all that's new in the hobby. This week, we don't actually have a lot of new arrivals. I'm going to kind of start backwards. I have a video I'm going to play for you because I'm going to do a little scenery thing, and I'm going to start out with the video. So without further ado, let me put this on and start this. I hope you enjoy it. It's, there we go. Oh, volume not coming through? Uh-oh. No volume. Well, that's not good. I'll just talk you through it. Let's see. Oh, it's muted. Let's see. Movie is muted. Hello, Randy. Hi, Katie. Hi, Tom. Madison, West Virginia. Hi, Massimo. Good to see everybody. Okay, so this video, let me move along here. This is a styrofoam wall. My apologies that the video's not coming through, or the sound's not coming through. This is 1-inch styrofoam that I've cut to the curve of my layout. I'm trying to create a view block between my first and second levels on the HO layout in our display layout in the store. And all I do is I score and snap the styrofoam, and then let's put that on hold for a minute, and then I glue it together. I just used wood glue for this one. It doesn't really matter. And then what I'm doing here is I am giving it some texture. I'm trying to rough it up and make it look like stone that's kind of been through the ringer. As you know, when you drive down all those wonderful highways through mountain areas, you see all those stone walls that have been either cut through or blasted through, and they get a little rough from Mother Nature after a while and from tumbling stones. So this is just a serrated knife. I buy an inexpensive knife at the dollar store. Otherwise, you know, the cook in your family might kill you for taking one of their good knives, so don't do that. What I do is I just rough it up using the serrated edge, and now I'm cutting channels in it to make it kind of look like where they would have drilled through for the blasting caps. You can pretty much do this any way that you choose. This is just using the tip of it to rough it up. It's just a slightly different texture. You can also leave them kind of smooth to make them look like they were more cut rocks, but I like the really textured look, and when you get it all painted and highlighted, it really looks terrific. So I've gone through and roughed up this entire piece. It's about, I don't know, the full curve radius, about 27, 28 inches. And as you can see, it's 6 courses tall, or 6 inches tall. You will see that there are some gaps between my styrofoam. Hi, Eric Clark. We can fill those in real easily as we complete the piece. So what I'm going to do after I get this all roughed up is I paint it, and I start out with a latex paint. If you have leftover latex house paint or interior paint of a neutral color, you can use that as kind of your primer coat. I don't recommend going straight to spray paint because the spray paints tend to eat through your styrofoam and give it more texture than you really want. It looks like you've had melted styrofoam. So you want to get a nice base coat of some kind of latex or acrylic paint on this. As I said, you can use, leftover house paint that's sitting around in a closet or the basement or the garage shelf, and help you kind of get rid of it. I like to use either a brown or a gray base, but you can use a beige. You can mix your own color. You're just trying to get a background to cover up the green. So we'll come off of that, come back to me. Hi, here I am. So once we get it all painted gray, and this is the back side. I have not textured this side, but I did paint it because if you're going through the tunnel, if you use a camera, you're going to, see the color. And I will add to this, but that's kind of my base coat of gray. And then what we're going to do is I've done a little bit of it already. Let me see. Oh, there we go. Overhead camera. We're going to start giving it some different highlights and colors to make it look more authentically stone. I hope you're getting a good view of that. So I just use a lot of different colors on this until I get kind of what I'm looking for. So this is some different tones. This is more of a reddish rock. In the middle here, I've gone more to a solid brown tone. So on this end, we'll just do a little bit more. You can dry brush this, you can wet brush this, and then my favorite thing, this is upside down, sorry. I do try to give it some dark highlights where it's under an overhang. So what we're going to do here is we can just start out kind of rough brushing it. This is just a medium brown. This is a darker brown. And you can use the same brush and just go over itself and blend the colors kind of naturally. And there's a little bit of my styrofoam showing through there, so I'll make that just a little bit thicker. And I have an ochre color here as well that I'm going to use. Just go over that a little bit. And it looks a little too bright yellow to start with, but just wait. That'll get mixed in really nicely. But you see how it highlights all that wonderful texture? And when you get done with the whole thing, it really does look like natural stone. And as you know, natural stone does not have a single color to it. So we have a lot of different highlights in there. And then I really like to take a spray bottle of water. This is just your average simple spray bottle. You can buy it at any hardware store, grocery stores. And oops. I spray a little bit of water on that. And as you can see, the colors start to meld together even more. And if you just go over those, you're getting a more natural blend of all those colors. And you can take it out further. Now, if you think you've got too much on there, just take a, get a little bit of that dark off of there. Just take a paper towel and blot it a little bit, but you really can't do anything wrong. So that's if you think you've got a little too much on there, just blot it off. Now my other favorite method, and those of you that have seen me do scenery workshops before, will know that my very favorite thing in the whole world, especially when I'm doing a ceiling tile wall, is to take a cosmetic spray bottle. This is just a travel spray bottle that comes in, the travel section of your drugstore. And it does have, there we go, an aerosol tip on it. And I mix whatever color I want to use. This happens to be kind of a brickish rust red. The other one I have is a dark brown. And basically you're creating your own spray bottle. So as we do this, now I get yelled at if I do this on the Nerd Center because he thinks I'm making a mess. But at the Nerdette Center, I can do this. So there you go, and you just, isn't that amazing? And again, you can brush over it. Where's my brush? With additional colors to tone it down. Using a little bit of gray here. Kind of blend that in. And if you think you've got too much, you can blot it up. But I just love this method. I think it's so effective. And it does take a little bit to dry because you've put a lot of moisture on there. But it just gives you such an incredible natural look. Oh, that's my finger poking through. So look at that. Isn't it incredible what it looks like? So these are just a couple of different methods. Now this area, if you think that's a little too red, just put a little more of that brown spray bottle on there. And we'll take that out and make it a more natural looking color. So a lot of different methods. You can also use spray paint on this. You just have to, as I said, get that latex color down first. And I have a gap here where I didn't give it any color between my methods, if you will. So I'm going to give it a little bit of a spritz of the plain brown and maybe go over it with a little bit of the red. And you do have to, keep shaking this up a little bit. But if you want to just blot that off a little bit so it's not quite as red, isn't that amazing? I mean, look at that. You've got a stone wall. Now you can use lighter colors on this as well. You can use some whites to highlight. You can use a super pale gray. But I just wanted to show you the basics of getting that stone look. Now we're going to let this dry a little bit, and then I'm going to show you how we fill in those holes and add a little more interest to this. So, on with the show. We will set this aside to dry, and then we will come back to it. Just going to blot up that little bit of extra moisture in that serious hole there. Okay, so hello, Rochelle. How are you? From Dominic. Hello. Hi, Eric. Pine tree bark. Wow, that's cool. Oh, lost the video and audio? Shoot. Are we back? Okay, we're back. Good. Sorry about that. Okay, I'm going to set my paints aside and come back to you. What's new this week? We have no new arrivals this week. We're expecting more next week. We've been getting a lot of pallets, but they're the other scale, not HO right now. We do have some coming soon announcements from Atlas. Come back over here to, get rid of my face there, sorry. Oops, here we go. Atlas has announced we have, sorry. Don't need that. Go away. Sorry. Okay. There we go. Okay. So these are SD35s that are coming in from Atlas. Aren't they beautiful? I know we don't have actual pictures yet, but obviously they're not here yet. So it comes in a number of road names and numbers. You've got Rail Link there. You've got GLC. We've got Southern Pacific. And then we go into the GP7s, General Purpose 7s. And again, we have a number of road numbers and road names. You see Southern here, more Southern, Norfolk Western. And then we get into these beautiful hopper cars. These are the Trinity 5660 covered hoppers. Oh, hello, Lenny. Hi, Eric. Oh, you love Walther's engines? I had quite a few of those on last week. They are really, really wonderful. I'm learning a lot about the HO product lines and the hobby, and I'm just so impressed with all the different product lines and the manufacturers. So back to our 5660 covered hoppers, a number of road names coming in. We'll be featuring these live when they do arrive, but you've got GATX, which of course, ConAgra Mills, NAMAX, TCMX, TILX, VTG. So that's what's new from Atlas coming in soon. So that's pretty exciting. Let me come back to me. Hello. That should be it for my new arrivals. And then, what did he? Oh, different thing. Never mind. Sorry. Not for me. It's hard. The iPad gets used for multiple things. We have a wonderful product that I want to show you that would also go on your wall if you were interested. I don't know if anybody in your life is a gamer. They play Warhammer or Dungeons and Dragons or all these, wonderful things that they paint figurines and they have campaigns. And it's interesting to me how much that world overlaps with our train hobby. And there's actually, I'll have to look it up and download the video. There's actually a gentleman in England who he and his son, he is a train hobbyist and his son is a gamer hobbyist, and they have combined the two. And they have trains running through the gamer campaign. It is fascinating. So I'll bring that up for us next week. But anyways, we have a lot of crossover, both the paints, some of the scenery items, and I have one to show you tonight. If you do have a gamer, they may have introduced you to this product before. It's called Gamer's Grass. The ones I brought with me tonight are called Tufts, T-U-F-T, which is very difficult to say. But these are wonderful product. They are self-adhesive. Let's see, where do I want to go? Here, we'll go to the iPad over here. So these are just an incredible product. They're self-adhesive. They come in just so many in a package. So they will stick wherever you need them to. They can go vertical. They can be on a horizontal surface. That is obviously a dark green. This one's more of a dry fall or a desert scenario, a little bit smaller, a lot of different sizes. This one is Autumn XL. So again, your grasses are starting to turn. And again, they crossed over between O and HO, in my opinion. And then we have the florals. This one happens to be a pink flower. And they just look beautiful. I mean, can you imagine laying those out in a border in a residential area or even in a downtown area, putting them in little flower pots? Oh, dioramas, yes. So yeah, these are great in dioramas, in gaming, etc. And I have a little piece here that we have on display. They also have a die cut gamer's grass. I didn't bring one down, but this is what they would look like. This is just an O-gauge sample we have in the store. And you can see we've put them in between the rails on the railroad track. And then these leafy patterns are actually die cut, and you pop them out and curve them however you like. You can see they're very bendable, very flexible, and put them on. And look at how incredibly lifelike they are. Now, you can add a little paint to them if you choose. I don't think they really need it, but those are some of the gamer's grasses we carry. So if you've got a kid or a grandkid that needs to do a diorama for school, these come in really handy. They're just incredible to me. So that's another item that we carry in the store. It's called Gamer's Grass. So if you think that might be interesting to you, give us a holler and we'd be happy to. Oh, wrong one. There we go. I have too many control panels here. So that's pretty much all. Oh, no, I don't. I have our HO Club this week. As fall starts to come about, you know what's next, winter. For those of us that are not fortunate enough to live in Florida, there is a train club down in Florida, in Largo, Florida, that I want to introduce you to in case anybody's a snowbird and going to be down there soon. So let me come over here. And this is the Suncoast Model Railroad Club in Largo, Florida. Don't know why that is not centering, but they are down in Key Largo, or not Key Largo, just in Largo, Florida. And the most exciting thing, if you are going to be down there, is they have a train show coming up on December the 6th. Show hours are 9 to 3, Pinellas Park Performing Center in Pinellas Park, Florida. It is in a club open house. They will have layouts that are fully operational. They have a brand new, fully operational HO scale layout with 8 scale miles of track. So you can imagine that's pretty impressive. They also have an N scale layout. But if you happen to be down in Florida and wanted to take in a train show or an open house, that might be kind of fun. And then let me show you some of their, let's see, where did I leave that? There we go. These are some of their videos. They can be found on Facebook at Suncoast Model Railroads. Look at that. Isn't that pretty? And they've got some other ones on here. One of them I have to show because it's an homage to Steve. Any of you that know Mr. Muffin know that he has kind of a favorite railroad that happens to have run through Indiana. So let me come down here. This is another video. It's not this one I'm looking for, but again, isn't that pretty? I'm always in awe of the talent that people show, putting their layouts together and the creativity. Tampa area, thank you. So you know the club, Eric. Let's see. Here we go. This is the one. So when that engine comes along, tell me why you think that I'm showing this. It's going a little fast, but I bet you can catch it. What is the name on that engine? Monon. It's a Monon passenger car. So for those that may not know Indiana, if you went to college in Indiana back in the day, you almost inevitably rode the Monon train to your university because it came through from Chicago and down through all of our university towns. It came through West Lafayette for Purdue, Wabash College. It went through DePauw. So I just think that's really cool history. So that is a Monon passenger train. That is the Suncoast Model Railroad in Largo, Florida, near Tampa. Thank you. Oh, Eric's from Jacksonville. You're on the other side of the state. But not a very big state, I know, to go across. Kind of hard going lengthwise, but widthwise not so bad. So I will take us away from there, but I do think that they have kind of a cool train club. They did recently build their new layout, and they do have a crowdfunding going on right now because their building is in need of a new air conditioning system. Can't imagine why they would want that in Florida. But that's something, if you felt compelled to contribute to, you might take a look at their website. Oh, how is the Monon restaurant in Westfield? The Monon station, there is a Monon, Grindstone on the Monon is pretty good. They're not bad. And then there is Monon, Indiana. If you've never heard of it, there is a gentleman up there that collects actual rail cars, primarily Monon, and he has the most incredible display of railroad memorabilia. He has china, he has crystal, he has lanterns. It's just incredible. And he has a diner right there, so you can make a day of it and go to Monon, Indiana, and eat in the restaurant and take a look at the cars and check out his museum. It's about 45 minutes north of us. We've been up there once. There are a lot of trained people that do events up there. It's really pretty cool. So if you ever have a chance. But as far as Grindstone on the Monon, Randy, we've been there a couple of times. It's pretty good. The seating outside is lovely and in nice weather, not when it's 97 degrees out. But yeah, it's really nice. They've got a good burger, which I'm always a fan of a good burger. And, pretty typical menu for the Midwest, but it's really nice. So there's my plug for Grindstone on the Monon. Thank you. They don't owe me anything. Okay, let's go back to our wall because, I can't stand not doing something else to the wall. So this is how it's going to look finished. Not quite finished, but close enough. So you see I have these gaps. You see I have these holes. They just don't look good. So I'm sure most of you are familiar with lichen. This is, you can buy it at any hobby shop. This is called Moss Collection from Hobby Lobby. You can find it in the floral department. Okay, thanks, Randy. And it's wonderful to fill gaps or make it look like you've got overgrowth, scrubby bushes going on. So we're just going to you can use spray tack or spray adhesive, but since I don't want to mess up my Nerdette Center, I'm just going to use a little bit of Elmer's glue. It doesn't take much. Just going to put that on there. See my little dribble of wrong way. Little dribble of Elmer's glue. And then I'm just going to attach my lichen, kind of scrunch it in there, make it look like it's growing out of those crevices. And lo and behold, you have greenery and you've covered up that hole. So you can't see me back there anymore. Pretty cool. And then the other thing I like to do, and this is a little bit different, so you can paint this on or you can drizzle it on. So I'm going to just do a couple random drizzles here at the bottom. I don't want to cover the whole thing because that's not what would actually happen. But you can see I'm just giving it some random glue. That's all I've done. And now I'm going to do my favorite trick with flocking. So, oh, thank you, Massimo. You're so nice. So I have some coarse flocking here. This is Scenic Express Flock and Turf. And I'm sure you've done this before. You can blow it on, or you can drizzle it over. So let's put this up here so you can see it. Switch my camera. There we go. So I've drizzled that little bit of glue, and I'm just going to sprinkle these on, and they will stick wherever the glue is. And that's going to look like you've got all those wonderful, and you can just keep scraping it up and pouring it back over. You can also shake it on. They come with these wonderful shaker tops, just like your spices do. So I haven't taken the lid off this one yet, so shame on me. But there we go. So they have the wide shaker. I don't know if you can see that, the wide shaker. Or they have targeted. I might break a nail on this. There we go. The more targeted. So let's do the targeted. And just sprinkle, 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 sprinkle. If it'll come out. Not working so well, so we'll go back to my original method. I'm just going to take a little bit and drizzle it on. Anybody that cooks is really good at this when you sprinkle spices into something. So cooking and train layouts have some things in common, don't you think? So here we go. Okay. So then you just kind of shake it loose, anything that was still on there, not glued down, and then just go over it again with anything that shook loose. Cover up all the white glue. You can press it in if you want, and as you know, the glue is going to dry clear. So there you have, weeds growing up at the edge. Pretty cool, don't you think? I think it is. So let's go back over to my other camera. But look at that. And you can do that all over randomly if you like, or you can fill it with more lichen. It's just kind of a personal choice. Sorry, Devin, you can come up here anytime. Sorry, it's too far from your house. So anyways, that is my version of doing a styrofoam wall. You start out, obviously, with the unfinished, lovely green styrofoam board. I don't recommend the pink because it's a little bit pinker and it really is hard to cover up. You cover it with a latex or an acrylic paint, and then you can do anything you want to it in highlighting colors. You can even use spray paints after the fact, after you have that latex cover down. And then you just add some greenery to it. At the top you can add trees. You can have a tree growing out of it. We can add more lichen if we like. Let's see, there we go. So put more lichen in there. Not doing very well backwards. There we go. So, again, it's a great way to fill up those holes that show up. But yeah, that is a 6-inch by about 27-inch rock wall made out of styrofoam, so it's very light. And for those of you that have modular layouts, this is really terrific because it's not hard to load up and move around. It's not heavy. Yes, Massimo, this is a section of my HO layout. It's one of the pieces that goes under one of my curves. So I'm trying to, show you what I'm doing as I do it. I've got another section that I started a video on that I'll be sharing with you probably in the coming weeks. And I'm going to start doing some of the buildings I'm going to use. I'm going to start building them on here. So just clean up my little mess here. And so hopefully that's a method that you can use or you can improve on. It's a very inexpensive way to get a lot of ground covered on your layout if you need walls as a view block or as a background. I really like it because it is less expensive than the traditional poured styrofoam walls. They get very pricey, even though we do sell them. So please, if you need some, sign up or go to the website 4hotrades.com. Anyways, shameless plug. But I'll be sharing with you the ceiling tile walls as well. That's another one of my favorite methods. And we'll be building some buildings and getting serious about this HO layout. My stopper has been, my first level is wired, but it is not wired to the transformer yet. And I'm not willing to do a lot of scenery until I'm certain that my first level is operational and I don't have to get underneath it to check any connections. So as soon as that is verified as operational, I'm going to get really serious about finishing this layout, hopefully in time for Christmas. And you'll be able to see we're getting a lot of Christmas sets in HO. And we have a Southern running on it now. That's the one that you see all the time when I've done in stock new products. And I put them on the Southern engine and drag them around the layout. So they look a little bit better, in my opinion, in motion. So that's all I've got for you tonight. Thank you so much for tuning in. I appreciate it. Good to reconnect with everybody. And, anybody that has a chance to go to Grindstone on the Monon, let me know what you think. And if you have any suggestions for what you'd like to see me do here on the program, I'd be more than happy to take those suggestions and see if I can work them in. And that's it. Go home, watch some football. Hope we have a good game tonight. And thank you, Randy. Hope you can use it. They really are terrific. They're so easy to work with. And what I love about them is you can, get that curve. Don't you love that, the blue? That's the bottom, so I don't care. Anyways, you can customize it to your curve radius really easily, which is just so nice in my opinion. Because so many areas of your layout are curved and you need a view block or you need a background for them. And it's more difficult to do a lot of materials in curves. So thank you. Thank you, Randy. You are very welcome. And again, thanks everybody for tuning in. I will see you next week. And now I will let you music out. Thank you. Bye-bye.